Finally. I'm kind of excited today actually, because we do have the Supra back in the shop. I've been waiting for this moment for some time. It's been sitting outside in the carport for like 4 months or something like that. We're gonna do things differently with this car and on the channel, because in Sweden it's kind of hard to like reach out with Japanese cars. They're not so it's not so popular around here. So, and I know for you guys that has been following me for forever with this car, that everybody knows English, so you're gonna understand me anyhow. So I think I'm going to try to do everything with this car, because to be honest, there is kind of an international sport. It's not that big in Sweden. So maybe we could reach out for all you Poland guys. I know Jakob has been asking me to do something in English so he can understand me, because he don't understand Swedish, and that's kind of I can see that. Yep. So you will have to bear with me with this Swedish Swinglish kind of thing we're going on over here, but I'm going to do my best. Okay. What we have here in front of you is a Toyota Supra from 1985. It's been my main project car for the last 5 years. It has been quite of a ride, if we can say it like that, because there is almost nothing mechanical that's original, because it's only the shell, that's the Toyota Supra. For suspension and engine, we have from a Nissan 240 SX, or a 200 SX, as they call here in Sweden. So we have independent rear suspension, and we have all the good quirks and features from the S13 in the front as well. And under the hood we have a CA18. Yeah, can be a bit confusing for some of you, but I know that the Supra is designed to have a 6-cylinder from the beginning. So I don't know, it just got to be like that. Yeah, a friend of mine has a S13 with the CA18 and everything, and he's been a big influence for this. I really like his setup, so that's why I went this route. Only thing is that when I was done, I could have gotten a 1J with gearbox or something like that for like the half of the price that I put into this CA18. But yeah, no turning back now, I guess. This car, when I first got done with it, I dynoed it at 450 horsepower and almost 500 torque at the wheels, at the hubs, I would say. So it's quite an exciting car to drive, and you need a very heavy clutch foot to drive it as well. So, but I like that kind of driving style, so I guess that's my shit. I've been driving it for like 2 summers now, I think, with this new setup, and it's been treating me well, very well, actually. I haven't done anything else than changed tires and fueled up with the 85. So I thank you for that. And I hope it continues that way. It's the end of January right now, and we are supposed to get this car ready for this year's season. And I have some things I need to do. The first thing we're going to do today is to remove the engine from the car, because I have some stuff I need to upgrade. Quite a lot of oil leaks, as you could expect from a CA18, so I don't leak oil all over the track and people get angry at me. After we were done with that, we are going to change the whole steering geometry in the front. Right now I have GK Tech adapters and just like the simple mods. It behaves kind of good, actually. It feels good, but I do have some ideas of how I can do it more snappy. I'm kind of really influenced by the Japanese car scene at Meihan, and those who know, they know. I really like the aggressive driving, so to say. We are going to change steering setups as well. I guess we stop talking and just go for it, I guess. Let's go! I guess we remove the catch can situation. It's going to be needed gone anyhow. Yeehaw! It's funny how it's like when you're used to wrench with normal cars, like modern cars, removing a gearbox is often quite of a tedious job liksom. Alltså, ni hör ju hur det låter, det är ju fantastiskt. But in this case it's just like a couple of nuts and then it's ready to be picked out. It's kind of amusing to wrench on. One thing that I need to get used with is that I need to swear in Swedish. That's like all the other people do. Men för helvete. It's a little bit funnier. Yeah! Come on, get up! Something that's very förbannat frustrerande is bolts that go loose and then go tight, and then you go loose and then they go tight. So you like think you can wrench it by hand, but you can't. You just can't. So you have to like do it 3 times before you just go wrenching the whole way out. Really frustrating. Congratulations, you made it. Ah! I built the electrical harness by myself, and it's kind of nice to have built it serviceable that you can remove the whole harness without like taking the whole car apart. That's kind of a nice thing actually when you do it like this. So. Before I do anything else, I need to drain the oil, just in case I get oil all over me from something else. Kind of interesting to see how it looks. Oh, nice. It's actually not that bad at all. No. Ja. Fyra bultar, vad fan. Jävligt. Oj, tjong. Yep. Oh. And that's the gearbox out. That was a quick job. Everything else in this car is like quick disconnects, both good and bad stuff. But it's kind of nice when you're going to remove the engine. It's not that complicated. Ha mer i kat. Nu när du ändå är här så kanske vi skulle ha plocka av en huv. Och motorolja. Det var inte så noga. Spännande mycket. Ja. Ja. Fem. Oj. Ja. Chris Clefford är faktiskt jävligt duktig. Nu sitter vi någonting här. Ska du kunna ge mig en hand du, Viktor? Bara följa med han ut. Jag får tänka på när det kom in en kamera i bilden.
När vi slår på skor och kör skoter liksom bara, men vi filmar här då bara.
Ja.
Så bara en typ in i trädet typ först. Gå typ inte liksom så här.
Det är skitsamma.
Kommer på efteråt så här.
Jävla ungjävel ska få veta hort. Så. I have two separate engine stands for whatever reason, and this one is specially made for the CA18. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Ta-da! Right. I'm just gonna remove my pelters. My Swedish pride of, I don't know, farming equipment. We are diving into the CA18 because we're going to address some issues and some oil leaks. Because CA18s tend to leak oil. So we need to try to make it not leak oil. I'm going to remove the oil pan because all of my MIG welding is not MIG welding anymore. That's why it's covered, the whole car is covered in oil. I'm going to remove that and get it to Simon Dufmats, and he's going to make some magic with the TIG welder. So hopefully we can make it tight. Tätt. Vad heter det på engelska? Jag vet inte. Dry. I don't know. You get the point. In the meantime, I'm going to inspect the engine as well, because, and I'm trying to not get ahead of myself with this, because I built this like car, if you can say built car. I modified it heavily, and I built this motor from the ground up, and it took a severe amount of time and money, and I don't necessarily want it to. I don't want to go that route again right now, because if one thing that I've learned is that if something works and you don't have any suspicion of it not working or like sounding weird, just leave it until it happens. I'm just going to do the simple things that I need to do. That is addressing the oil leak and changing the clutch and inspect the timing. Let's start dismantling. Visst. It's a little bit strange type of way you tension the timing belt on these cars, these engines, because they don't necessarily say how much you are going to tension it. So they just say that just move the tensioner so it doesn't get slack. Do they mean? Like it's kind of confusing, but I did see that I had some slack when I had the engine in a dead center. So I just tighten it just a little bit, and it feels better, because now when I do it, I remember that I just didn't necessarily tighten it, just made it so it didn't slip or didn't, like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to say, but I imagine that I did some kind of improvement. Yep, I'm gonna leave it like that. See how easy it is to turn this bad boy around. I can imagine that it's not that easy. It wasn't that bad. I don't really know how I feel to open up this engine, because it could be disaster, and it could be all good. So this is actually kind of interesting, to be honest. How does an engine look after being smashed on for quite some time? The oil has some very strange happening. I think it's like, I have no idea what that is. It's either condensation or it is something else. Here in the back we can see that the rear seal has been leaking and hasn't done its job that it's supposed to do. But the oil is kinda, I don't know, it's strange. Let's see if we can see it. It's like it's thick. I will have to send this to him, look at it if it's something that's not supposed to look like that, or it's just, I don't know, condensation, or it's kind of nice to have someone who have built the motor for you, and you know he's experienced with this kind of stuff. It's nice to have someone who you can just ask random questions when you're not so sure about it. Like times like these, it's kind of nice to... I like to be overly cautious with things like this, and if we can find something that's not good now, when the engine works, it's just easier to rebuild it, in my opinion. So that's why I'm so cautious. But I guess we'll see. The lobes and everything looks actually good. I'm gonna take a closer look. A part of me wants to remove a cap to see the condition of the rod bearings, but a part of me just wants to leave it. I'm not really sure. Oh, you know what we can bring? You know what we can do now? Damn, I need to find it. If it's still there, I don't know. I see it. I don't think this one is. I don't think this one is supposed to be loose. It has a weld that is cracked, so we need to address that. Right, I'm back, and my good friend Simon Dufmats, bäst på svenska. He's welded up some of my existing weldings. I think it was good, because my welds were not that great. He's welded the inside of all the AN10 fittings, as well as the squarp hood, oil splash shield that was loose in the pan. So I've re-welded it so it's in place, and I've cleaned it thoroughly. I think I am actually going to install the pan today, just because I've talked to Oscar, who did all the machine work, and he was straight up saying that's water in the oil. And now, when the engine has been standing here for like 2 days, it's like it has kind of evaporated, so the oil is now clean again somehow. So I'm feeling kind of confident that this engine doesn't have taken any damage. Fan vad clean. Hur fan ska jag kunna göra det här? Ja! Isbil, så det var... Ja. Fungerar. Är det så att den lossnar? Ja, titta, det gör fan. Ja, här kommer man ju för fan. Ja. Nej. Ska jag stå och knacka det så här? Ja. Liten packbox. Det är ju på tok för stora. Shit, det fanns... Ja! Nej, vad sjukt! Helvete vad sjukt! Jag trodde aldrig jag skulle få ur den. Shit, det där var ju sjukt ju. RK. Jag vet faktiskt inte. Ja, så bullfika. Fy fan, titta. Alltså det kommer inte läcka en droppe olja om du frågar mig. Ja. Olja vill sen. Lite så. Ska se.